Hi, this is Ron Edwards, Master Sommelier and Director of Wine Education for Winebow Fine Wine and Spirits. Today we're going to talk about a wine that's really a treat for me to try, and that is the Rita Redigaffi 2018 vintage. Redigaffi is their bottling that brings them the most fame and fortune. It is like unrelentingly highly regarded by all of the critics that score it. And it is a 100% Merlot-based wine, which is an interesting thing to be praised for in Tuscany. Tuscany is actually a really good place to grow Merlot. This one's grown in Suvereto, which is where Rita is. It's the next door appellation to Bolgheri in Maremma. And it's just this magical combination. Actually, in an interview that I hosted with Stefano, his first reason for Merlot turning out so well there was luck. And I was like, wow, that's a really great kind of comment, in that he was lucky that his site and Merlot were a magic combination, and then after that it was family love. So let's give this iconic wine a taste and find out what's really going on in the bottle. So here we go. 2018 Redigaffi, 100% Merlot from Rita. The color is this beautiful ruby purple, and when you look at the stats of the wine, you kind of get to the expectation that maybe this wine would be fairly inky in color, but it's not. It's got this beautiful ruby purple instead of that inky purple color that you see sometimes in Merlot from the New World. The nose is this beautiful combination of forest berries and winemaking influence. So it's blackberry, blueberry, it's got some black plum notes as well as some red plum notes. It has that mocha coffee chocolate overtone that French oak puts on Merlot. There's also a really pretty fresh herbal note, like wild herbs growing on a hillside. There's also the high tone aromatic spices that come from oak use or oak aging, cinnamon and clove. Vanilla, there's a little bit of caramel, black cherry. The wine smells entirely sumptuous and satiny. Let's taste it and see where we go. I think the first thing that comes to mind is wow. This wine is intense and supple and balanced and layered. It is truly the mark of great wine, in that you know there's a lot going on, but your mind is struggling to pull it apart. And so let's start with the texture is all about that satin moving towards velvet. It has that clear presentation of that range of fruits, tart to somewhat rich. So we have that cherry, black cherry, blueberry, blackberry fresh off the vine, and then that richer black plum flavor profile and the red plum towards the end. It has this powdery but gripping tannin structure, so that there's no lack of substance to the wine, but it's not attacking either. It's really well enveloped, where the fruit profile and the richness of the wine keep the tannin enveloped, so it doesn't bite back. It just supports the wine. The oak nuance is really a nuance. This wine sees a fair amount of French Barrique and new oak, but it's just alongside of the wine. It's not over top of it. It's vanilla and those high tone cinnamon clove notes, and that cocoa powder or mocha sort of coffee and chocolate kind of combination is really woven into the rest of the wine rather than sticking out. Let's see where we get with a second sip. The second sip really brought out that herbal note that it was not as present in the beginning, and I think it was because I was just sort of like that frontal assault of the wine's greatness, and now the subtleties are coming through, and it is that sort of mix of fresh herbs that you would use in your kitchen. It's like rosemary, thyme, and bay leaf all kind of combined together, and it's really a beautiful addition to this wine. It really adds an entirely new layer. There's also coming through now some like wild mushroom note and a sort of tilled farm soil sort of earthiness to the wine. And now, hadn't tasted this one before either, but now I'm kind of in this sort of cigar wrapper, somewhere between a lightly cured cigar leaf to a little bit of a green leaf. And like the great wines of Saint-Emilion that are based on Merlot, but not necessarily entirely Merlot, this 100% Merlot is built for age. And it's also fairly small production, very similar to those great chateaus in Bordeaux. There's only 13,800 or so bottles of Redigaffi 2018 in the world market. So find one and enjoy the privilege.